Hey everybody, we're going to do one more Smallsword video lesson, and this one's just going to focus on footwork, so you don't need a weapon for this one. Let's take a look at some advanced footwork moves. Okay, so with Smallsword, we've talked about how the stance is much smaller than other weapons. So my feet are on opposite corners of a square. I still have width, I still have depth, I am still sinking down into my stance, but it's a smaller one than, say, rapier and dagger, which might be out here, broadsword, which might be over here, or single rapier, which might be down here. So nice little square here for Smallsword. This weapon also has more of an upward inclination. You should feel yourself stretching and elongating up, even though that your knees are allowing your body to sink down and lowering your center of gravity. Okay, so we've done some retreats and advances. Now let's also take a look at passing steps. Now when we use a passing step for a Smallsword, we're going to do what's called restoration passes, meaning we're taking small steps and we can allow ourselves to come up a little bit, to releve in ballet terms. And if we're taking multiple of these steps, we don't need to adjust our feet. So it's perfectly fine to find yourself here with your front foot at a 45-degree angle and your back foot at more or less a straight-on angle. So we can do these restoration passes, as long as when we finish, we make that small little adjustment. We still want to keep our hips pointed forward at all times as we do these restoration passes. Okay, so those are restoration passes. Now we also have some additional types of lunges. So a standard lunge, which we've been doing, takes the front foot and moves it 1, 2 foot lengths forward, pushing off of the back heel, which remains connected to the ground. And then when I recover, I pull using my back knee to collapse my body back into an en-garde position. Now, I'm going to use my left hand, my active hand, to balance myself as I lunge. So as my weapon extends and I lunge, my left hand goes out to help me keep my balance, and then as I pull myself back, my left hand retreats, and I'm pulling myself back into an en-garde position. Now we can also look at a demi-lunge, or a petite lunge. This just moves the front foot 1 foot length forward. So demi-lunge, I extend, demi-lunge. I can extend into a standard lunge, and then if I want to move my front foot 3 foot lengths forward, I'm going to do a grand lunge. So we've got those 3 types of lunges: demi-lunge, standard lunge, and grand lunge, being 1, 2, and 3 foot lengths respectively. Now next up, we can also do volts. Now a volt is like a traverse or a cross step, in that it is a way of moving the body offline in order to evade an attack. The difference is that a volt also changes the direction the body is facing, and therefore changes the direction of the fight. Now, in other weapons, we've done half volts, which moves the body 90 degrees, either to the left or the right. So if I am here right foot forward, I can do a half volt to my left by moving my rear foot behind me and turning 90 degrees to my left. I'm still in an en-garde position, but I'm now facing 90 degrees to the left, and I have moved my body offline in order to evade some kind of attack that is moving this direction. And then I can recover and turn back to where I was originally facing. And if I am left foot forward, I can easily half volt to my right by moving my rear foot behind me and turning my body to the right. And now I am left foot forward en garde, facing 90 degrees to my right. And then I can recover. Now, there's no reason why we can't also go the opposite direction. Here, we're just going to move our front foot all the way around behind us. So, if I'm left foot forward and I half volt to my left, I'm moving my front foot all the way behind me, and now I am right foot forward, pointed to my left. I can recover, bringing that back foot all the way back so that I return to my original position of being left foot forward. And then I can do a pass back. Now I am right foot forward, and if I want to half volt to my right, I need to move my front foot, which is my right foot, all the way behind me, and now I am facing 90 degrees to my right in a half volt. So those are volts: half volt left, half volt right, and I can do them both either right foot forward or left foot forward. So half volt left and half volt right. and recover. Now I can also do other types of volts. So those are half volts. We can also do demivolts. These only move the body 45 degrees. So if I want to do a demivolt right, I am just going to turn my body 45 degrees, place my right foot behind my left foot here, and as I do this, again, I can releve, I can come up. This is just a small move where I'm just slipping to the side as the attack passes by me. I can also demivolt to the left. Again, same thing, I just move my left foot behind my right, and then I can recover, and I can do these with either right foot or left foot forward. So, demivolt to my left, and demivolt to my right. And in both cases, I kind of end up in, I believe this is 5th position in ballet, as I releve up with my feet crossed pointing the opposite direction. Now I can also do what's known as a full volt, where I turn my body 180 degrees. And this would almost always be accompanied with some kind of thrust attack. So my partner is coming at me, I'm going to extend my blade, and instead of attempting to parry their attack, I'm going to evade their attack by turning my body 180 degrees around. Now this ends up pointing your butt at your partner, but it's also important that you keep your face looking in your partner's direction. It's very, very dangerous to turn your head away from your partner, because then you're no longer able to see what's going on with your weapon, with their weapon. It also leaves you open. It also tells the audience that you're no longer looking at your partner and therefore are no longer engaged in the fight. And if we were doing competitive fencing, this is the most dangerous thing you can possibly do in competitive fencing, because the only part of your body that is not protected is the back of your head and your neck. And leaving that exposed without any protective equipment as somebody's running at you with a long piece of steel, well, that can be very dangerous. So I'm going to keep my face pointed this way as my butt and my sword are also pointed towards my partner. So this is a full volt left, and then I can also do a full volt right. And depending on whether I'm holding my sword in my left hand or my right hand, I would stick that weapon out towards my partner. And again, I can do these with my left foot forward as well. Full volt right, and full volt left. And recover. Okay, I'm going to show you one final piece of footwork that will be in our assessment choreography. It's very advanced, so I'm not going to require you to do this, but it's one of my favorite. It's called a ballestra. So a ballestra is a combination of two things. It's a combination of a leap forward, and it's a combination of an appel. Appel is just where I beat my foot on the ground to make a sound, to perhaps startle my opponent, catch them off guard, do something to feint an attack to get their attention. So the ballestra is a leap forward, and as I land, I'm going to slap my front foot on the ground and make a noise there. So again, I'm leaping forward and slapping my front foot. As I leap forward, I'm pushing off my back foot to leap, and as I land, I'm bringing my front foot towards my rear foot to slap, like this. Now, it is not an up and down movement, so I'm not trying to go up and down. I'm trying to go forward as I leap. And you can combine a ballestra with an advance, or you can combine a ballestra with a lunge and recover. And you can incorporate it into into choreography in a variety of ways. But I think it's super flashy, super fun. If you want to put a little flair into it, you can swing your front foot forward or behind you and then forward. As you make that ballestra, it makes it look a little bit more flashy. That is a ballestra. So for your lesson exercise, please videotape yourself doing the 3 different types of lunges. So a demi-lunge, a standard lunge, and a grand lunge. And then please show me at least 2 different volts. So you can show me a half volt, you can show me a demi-volt, or you can show me a full volt. Alright, I think that's about it. The next video will be our assessment choreography. See you then.